This is the Renegade Confessional.
Renegade Confessional.
Take one.
Elisa, known her for a while now. Her life is pretty much like a movie that I would not want to watch. It's basically like 2 weeks notice, like some sort of romantic comedy. It's really like, she's very wholesome and like happy things happen to her. And she loves her husband. It's really annoying. Drew, he's like trying to pull off this whole like Andrew Nicholson thing, and turns out he's only 30. I think he needs to wait until he's a little bit older. Lizzie Snow. So I used to babysit her, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take credit for everything good about Lizzie Snow. Sorry, Diane. Oh, Jennie. I don't really know that much about her, but she has an accent and she's blonde, so I like her. And she gives me candy.
I don't know if you know this about John, but Katie brought it up. He has very intense eye contact. He's very nervous about this confessional. I think it's because he's afraid he's just going to stare at the camera. Doesn't have a lot of things to say sometimes, and he thinks that I'm like really quiet. But actually, I'm a little intimidated. Like, when he talks to you, he stares at you. Like he's looking through your soul. And he doesn't like what he sees. Then there's Katie, who always has to look good. Like every 30 minutes, we have to pull over so she can do her hair. And it's like, oh God, we gotta get gas. Katie's gotta do her hair. And, you know, well, that's about it. I met Lizzie, who's like the nicest person I've ever met. We picked her up in North Carolina, south of the border. I don't know how she finds these places, you know, it's like a Mexican theme park, Mexican themed park. Although they have dinosaurs and things like that there, it's really weird. So Jennie, she kind of had the late night shift driving. It got a little rough. I was trying to get some sleep a couple of times. I thought that we were just flipping over. From what I hear, we spent a couple of hours circling downtown New York. Again, I was asleep until we hit a pothole. It was kind of like, you know, getting a little rest, and then... Oh, Jennie's driving. Okay. You know, Elisa was a little critical of my driving. She thought that it was pretty easy to keep the Renegade on the road until it was her turn. Yeah, there was a lot of that shoulder action going on. Yeah. Yeah, she was pretty critical until she tried to keep this mother in the lane, and then I think she's going to be a little nicer on the trip home. One thing you may not know about me is that I pass out really easily. And I don't really do needles or blood or body parts that should be on the inside and are on the outside, so it was a little stressful while I was driving the Renegade. There's a lot of roadkill between Florida and Canada, wherever we are. Yeah, so you know, I'm just driving along, see a dead deer, get a little queasy. Yeah, that got stressful. So I don't know. You know, there's only so much you can do, and then you just got to throw your hands up in the air and let Jesus take the wheel, like Carrie Underwood said. You know, she said it better. Oh God, needles. This is gonna be a minute, guys. Tiff! Yeah, so it's been a very festive trip, a lot of singing, a lot of Disney songs, and a lot of Disney songs. And
I need assistance.
We know.
Andrew's got this nice little massage glove rubbing his chest right now, so it's going to be a little bit hard to focus. But I should be used to it by now, since it's been a couple of days of it already. Like I said, Andrew said we had a little excursion around. When I took the wheel, I sort of missed a turn. It looked like yarn, I think, on the GPS all of a sudden with all the roads, and I was heading towards New York City instead of taking another exit. So luckily, I thought yelling was going to be starting from John, but he was very kind to me, and he just calmly rerouted me about 56 times. They were very welcoming, the people at the Canadian border.
they welcomed all of us except for you.
I had a little mishap with my paperwork, so I'm trying to get all my bad luck out before the competition starts. I mean, Andrew's using up all his good luck, I think. He gets like front row parking at the breakfast place. What else happened to you, Andrew?
Front row parking at the ice cream shop.
Oh, front row at the ice cream shop too. That's right. And no tickets for running the stop signs yet. So he's using up all his good luck.
I fell asleep. I think that Jennie drove us to France. I woke up and can't even order an ice cream cone. They just don't understand large and small, and even with hand motions it's very confusing. So communicating has been difficult. The stop signs here are way confusing, so if I don't hit a pedestrian while I'm here, I will feel very accomplished. Whatever happens at the show, you know, that's its own thing, and staying without a driving ticket, that's a whole nother accomplishment that I'm going for. You know, it's very difficult because you don't see a sign that says arrête and think, oh God, I should probably stop. No. Sometimes I don't see the signs at all, you know, let's be honest. But fortunately the passengers are getting really good about screaming, stop, stop, stop. And so that usually helps. That gets the message across. Yeah. France. Who knew that Bromont was in France?
Alright. So, about this trip and the people along with it, we have Katy, my dear friend Katy, who always walks around in stylish heels, whether they're flip-flops or 10-inch stilettos. She always has to have those, along with the short shorts. I never quite understand how that's possible or comfortable. The biggest comment that I can say about Jennie is, as we were driving, it was either pretty or deer. And maybe there was just a bunch of pretty deer. I'm not quite sure. I do know that I was really slow with my camera, and she was rather disappointed in my camera skills because I wasn't able to get the I love New York in a heart. That was it was in the grass on the side of the hill, and we were going 80 miles an hour, so naturally as I saw it, we were passing it, and she goes, take a picture, and there's just, it was impossible. So unfortunately, I've already given some people disappointment, with the fact also that I'm not my dad. So once we got past that big disappointment that he's not here, and it's, in fact, they're just left with me, we can move forward now. Then we have Andrew, and he's a very interesting nut, that one. So I've been able to witness a little bit of Andrew. You know, he's very soft and kind of a very nice, mellow kind of guy, and he tends to pull on his eyelids. So when he's smiling, he'll pull his eyelids down.
I smile too hard.
And say, he's smiling too hard. And I'm not quite sure if that's to help with the wrinkles that he's afraid that he's getting, because he does have gray hair. And he's only 30. So it could get worse. Well, we all know it's going to get worse. And he's, of course, very light in the stomach as far as it comes to. He can't even eat candy brain. It's not even real brain. And it tastes good. By this trip, I'm going to have him eat a candy brain. Then we have Lizzie Snow. She packs enough, like she has the 7 dwarves with her. There's in fact a bag that she straps on her back that sometimes we have to check to make sure there's not a human in it. And the other thing about Snow is she laughs at everything. And so you don't quite know if you're actually funny or she's just laughing. But then you think you're funny. And so it's kind of like an applause track for a comedian show, but you're not quite sure if it's actually funny. And then we have John. He's the big baby. He tends to get stressed out over small things, like talking into a camera. He can't quite understand. And he's really nervous.
Never seems so nervous.
His palms sweat. He holds them together. What else about John? He does a mean Ice Ice Baby impression. And he's really, really good at his intense eye contact. But apparently, it affects other people and makes them uncomfortable. And I think he's trying to develop that into a power. Am I forgetting? Oh, and my dog Pocket. The best little dog ever. She's still not sure about a couple of the people. She likes Lizzie. She's not quite sure about Katy. She just accepts Jennie's here. She likes Andrew. And John wants her to like him.
So we're really not sure if John is more nervous about being in front of the camera or sitting on a toilet and talking to people. So Alyssa's got this dog that came along named Pocket. She's really cute, unless she hates you. And then she looks like she's gonna kill you. The best way to describe her if you haven't seen her is she's somewhere along the stage of becoming a gremlin. She's not quite a gremlin. God, that dog can pass some gas. She's about 4 ounces, and you know, there were points where we went for hours just thinking we were never gonna breathe again, like no fresh air. It was like, dang it, Pocket, really?